Hey y'all. Okay, let's be real. If everything feels urgent, then what's actually getting done? I see this all the time, y'all. Business owners, CEOs, service providers, nonprofit founders, coaches, consultants, speakers, they're drowning in tasks. And they're usually feeling like they can't catch a break. They're feeling overwhelmed. They're feeling like it's a lot going on and I don't have the time to do it all. I need more time in my day. These are some of the things that they're usually feeling. But then we have to ask ourselves what's different about the CEOs who are actually scaling, who are actually growing, and they're building sustainable systems, sustainable brands, sustainable organizations, and they're not drowning in tasks, right? And the difference is, I find, is that they usually know how to protect their time and they usually have mastered prioritizing what matters and delegation, okay? And so today, I'm gonna give you a simple framework to make faster decisions, to avoid burnout, and to get back in control of your schedule. All right, y'all ready? Okay, so let's just call this the 4D framework, the 4D method, the 4D process, whatever you want to call it. Okay, and so if you've ever heard of the 4Ds, this is going to be your prioritization system that most CEOs who are scaling and sustaining without burnout is using, right? And so the first thing first is do it. Okay, they're not overthinking, they're not spending a long time making decisions. If it's something that can be handled now, they're going to do it. If it's something that they can get done very quickly, they're going to do it. Or they're going to put a time block in their day to handle those things that can be done quickly, right? They're not overthinking things. Yes, they're making wise decisions, but you have to understand when you're taking time so you make the best decision, or if you're taking time because you don't know which decision to make and you're overthinking it, or you're looking to perfect something. And while you're maintaining perfectionism, other people are moving forward doing something else, right? And so the first one is do it. The other one is defer. Sometimes things are very important, but they're not urgent. And so in those instances, you can schedule it for later. And so let's say there's something that you've been meaning to do. There's a video on YouTube that you want to talk about or release. Not a video on YouTube, but there's a video you want to record for YouTube, right? Now you already have all of your emails scheduled for the week, but you're like, I really need to get this out, right? It's important, but it's not urgent because there's already emails going out. This is just a bonus or an addition. In that instance, instead of you trying to stop, drop, and run to get it done, you're moving it into the defer it section where now you can schedule it for next week, or you can schedule it at a time that is free on your calendar that isn't replacing something that's more important and urgent. Okay. And then you have things that are that can be delegated. So the third D is delegated. And usually if you heard of the Eisenhower matrix, this kind of aligns with that as well, right? And so delegated. If someone else can do it as well as you, if you can train somebody to do it, if you can send somebody an SOP to do it how you do it, hand that thing off. That is what most people fail to do. And literally, delegation is a principle that you can even find in the Bible in the book of Exodus 18. And delegation in this scripture literally tells us how it is the key or the secret, the not so secret, right, to avoiding overwhelm, to avoiding burnout, to avoiding damaging your relationships with your clients, to avoiding, to make everybody's life easier, delegated, right? And so somebody else can do it, why you still doing it? That's what we got to figure out. And then the last D is delete it. If it's not adding value to you, why are you doing it? Let it go. If it's something that isn't aligned with your goals for the year and you can do it next year, or you can do it when you free up some time because you delegated some other stuff, then defer it or delete it. Because a lot of times we find ourselves, we're just doing random things and it's not adding value to us. It's not adding value to our business, and we really need to let it go. Because most CEOs, they fail because they're stuck doing things that should be delegated or deleted. Okay. And so the next thing I want to tell y'all is time block. This is how you make sure important tasks actually get done. And so let me tell you quickly how it works, because my kids just came in. And so instead of a never ending to-do list like most of us have, right? You're going to assign tasks to a specific time slot in your calendar. So for mornings, if that's like your high peak performance time, you want to focus on deep work. That's your strategy. That's your creative work. That's your revenue generating tasks. That's your meetings with your stakeholders. That's your grant funding applications, things of that nature. In the afternoons, you might want to focus on meetings, discussions, emails, Slack communication, team communication, things of that nature. And then the end of the day, you may want to focus on admin, wrapping up your day, transitioning, and things of that nature. And I like to keep this thing on the top of my brain. If it's not on the calendar, it's not happening. If it's not on the calendar, it does not exist. And it's simple as that. This what makes me be sure that everything that has to involve me or is going to impact me, it has to be on the calendar. I use that with my family. My husband knows this. My children know this. If it's not on the calendar, it does not exist. If you want me to be involved in it, or if it has to impact me, it needs to be on the calendar. Okay? Simple as that. And the last thing I'll give you all is the 10 by 10 by 10 rule. So when you're making decisions, you need to ask yourself, will this matter in 10 minutes? Will this matter in 10 months? And will this matter in 10 years? If it only matters for 10 minutes, don't stress it. If it impacts your next 10 months or your 10 years, that's where your focus needs to be. And so let's recap really quickly. If you want to prioritize like a CEO, you need to use the 4D framework, or the thing that's aligned with the Eisenhower metrics, where it says do it, defer, delegate it, or delete it. Or you need to begin time blocking your calendar. I have a whole video called the Align Week webinar where I break down this. And if you want me to do it with you one-on-one, you can book an Align Week one-on-one session where I'm going to help you protect your deep work time and protect your time in general. And then the last thing is the 10 by 10 by 10 rule, where you focus on what actually moves the needle and everything else gets scraped. Okay. So now let's stop letting these urgent things distract us from the important. And I think you got it. If you got it, drop a comment below and I will see you in the next video.